For over a decade, I labored on compost heaps, flipping them every 3 days, checking temps with a probe thermometer, and fine-tuning the mix of greens and browns like a mad scientist in an organic lab. Neighbors saw dedication. My wife saw obsession. Me? I figured I had it all dialed in. That illusion shattered one afternoon in 2019 when I was digging a spot for a fig tree. Roughly 18 inches deep, below a forgotten mound of wood chips I'd ignored for 2 years. The earth was pitch black, soft, vibrant, teeming with worms. Zero flipping, zero checks, zero sweat. In just 2 years, nature nailed what my endless weekend drudgery couldn't touch after 11 years. Right then it hit me. The composting business, a $500 million a year racket in the US by itself, peddles fixes for a non-issue. Soil feeds itself just fine. It's managed for 450 million years, sans human meddling. What you're about to hear isn't some garden trick. It's a total rethink of soil, life cycles, and who profits from your endless compost bin purchases. Far from novel, this wisdom is ancient, Earth's original playbook, which is precisely why it's been suppressed, buried in every sense. Back in Edo-era Japan, 1603 to 1868, growers used green manuring, tilling raw organics, straight into the ground instead of pre-composting. No backwoods hacks from cluelessness. These were polished methods honed across generations of sharp-eyed practice, powering some of history's richest fields without one sack of chemical fert. Then 1945 flipped the script. Post-World War II, bomb plants in the US and Europe pivoted. Ammonium nitrate from explosives morphed into fake nitrogen fertilizer. With massive stockpiles, the US government teamed with giants like BASF and Standard Oil to dump cheap chemicals worldwide. From 1950 to 1970, global synthetic fertilizer use exploded over 700%. Masanobu Fukuoka, ex-microbiologist turned grower, clocked this in his 1975 book, One Straw Revolution, dubbing it the 20th century's top AG felony. He ditched tilling, composting, chemicals, and still equaled or beat his chem-farming rivals on output. Korean natural farmers hit the same truths around then, on their own. The know-how never vanished. Industry just made it a hassle. And hassle? Prime weapon for factory overlords. Under your boots, a whole drama unfolds that upends garden-feeding myths. Soil ain't dead dirt, it's a buzzing web. 1 teaspoon of prime garden dirt packs 1 to 10 billion bacteria, plus 3 to 5 miles of fungal strands known as mycelium. These critters drive the show, their main gig, shredding organics into root-ready nutrients on site. Hauling stuff to a compost heap yanks it from that ecosystem, cooks it solo, then dumps it back later. Seems smart at first glance, but science begs to differ. A 2013 soil biology and biochemistry paper showed in-soil breakdown, aka in situ decomposition, holds onto 40% more, nitrogen versus surface-applied compost. No gas loss to the sky, no washout in storms. It zips via fungal highways to roots in weeks. Enter mycorrhizal transfer. Those threads link rotting organics direct to plant roots. Plants pump the fungi sugars from sun power. Fungi deliver nitrogen, phosphorus, micros from the mulch. Seamless cycle, a bin pile skips entirely. Fairness check. I gotta pause here. This isn't a cure-all. In dense clay with bad drainage, dumping big organics underground risks airless zones, spewing methane and stunting roots. In freezing weather zones, the breakdown of buried organics grinds to a halt deep in the ground over winter, so those nutrients might not reach your early spring plants as fast as ready-to-use compost could. These drawbacks are legit, and folks claiming this technique fixes every garden no matter the weather are glossing over the truth. That said, for most backyard growers in mild areas with decent soil drainage, the evidence all leads straight downward. I'll share the stats that big fertilizer companies would rather keep buried alongside their packaging. The Rodale Institute's ongoing experiment, kicking off in 1981, pitted organic approaches with direct in-ground organics against standard chemical fertilizers. 3 decades in, the organic fields equaled yields in average rain years and beat them by 30% in dry spells. No sorcery here, just superior soil makeup. Ground packed with breaking down organics retains about 20% more moisture per cubic foot than hard-packed chem-reliant dirt. During drought, that gap decides your whole crop. Now, factor in carbon storage. A surface compost heap is all about oxygen. It exhales CO2. UC Davis studies peg a standard home pile at venting 40 to 60% of its starting carbon skyward as it rots. Bury it direct, though, and that carbon sticks around, latching onto soil bits to form long-lasting organic matter that lingers for years. You're not only nourishing plants, you're sucking CO2 from the air and stashing it below ground. Even better. Think about the soil life. Flipping a compost heap wipes out the microbe lineup, forcing a total reboot. Untouched earth layers up diverse bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes naturally. A 2019 Nature Plants review showed undisturbed soils hosting 25% more helpful microbes than frequently stirred or plowed ones. Your prized compost bin. It's a deliberate shake-up. Let the ground follow its instincts, and you tap into real power. Here's my exact routine now, and yours too, starting this weekend with just a spade and countertop waste. It's trench composting, dead simple. Skip the above-ground stack-up and wait game. Excavate a ditch right in your planting bed, load it with fresh scraps, top with excavated soil, and let soil critters handle it. Forget bins, flipping calendars, temp checks, or mixing formulas. Aim for trenches about 12 inches deep and 8 to 10 inches across, your shovel's width. Depth is key. Too high risks bugs on top. Too low skips the prime root zone. At 12 inches, you're in the hotbed of microbe and fungus action, perfect for veggie roots to tap. Nearly any plant waste fits. Veggie peels, coffee dregs, busted eggshells, lawn trimmings, ripped cardboard bits, old chips, even some leftover rice or bread. Steer clear of meat, dairy, or heaps of greasy leftovers. They rot slow enough to lure rats before worms catch up. Pack the trench 2/3 with scraps, then bury fully under the dug soil. It'll sink in weeks as underground rot ramps up. In 6 to 8 weeks, it'll be prime, fungus-rich booster right where roots hunt food. Position trenches under or just upslope from rows so goodies flow downhill to plants. Shift spots yearly, and in 3 seasons, your whole plot's upgraded. No cash on bags or chems. This isn't cutting corners. It's syncing with a 450-million-year-old pro. Master the core trench setup and layer in 2 tweaks based on your yard size and time. One option is the pit technique, ideal for those with compact yards or elevated beds. Rather than digging a lengthy trench, excavate one hole about 18 inches deep and 12 inches across, right in the middle of the bed. Layer in kitchen scraps and other organics gradually over a few weeks, just like feeding a countertop composter. Once it reaches 2/3 capacity, cover it with dirt and dig another pit nearby. That buried pit turns into a gradual nutrient source, nourishing the roots all around throughout the full season. The other tweak is chop and drop, which skips digging entirely. As you prune plants, yank seed-free weeds or shear back rampant herbs. Slice everything into bits and scatter it straight on the ground under your crops. Cover with a light blanket of wood chips, and this top layer decomposes steadily, boosting fungi from the surface while blocking weeds and holding water. Research from Washington State University in 2020 showed mulched plots kept 70% more moisture in the soil than exposed tilled ground over summer. Combined trench composting, pit composting, and chop and drop form a self-sustaining soil booster. All you need to do is quit carting organics away and begin putting them back where they belong. The ground takes care of the rest. Sharing this isn't helping me out. It's bigger than that. You're recirculating knowledge that a $500 billion sector has worked for decades to portray as tricky, scary, and reliant on endless purchases.
Reality is ridiculously straightforward. Decaying plant matter, plus left-alone dirt plus patience, yields Earth's richest planting ground. Skip the bin, the flipping routine, the sacks of fixes from firms that cash in whenever you think your dirt's defective. It's not defective, never has been. It just wants you to quit messing with it. If this flips your garden mindset, pass it to someone still lugging compost bags from the store. Drop a comment on your first burial target. And for more on what Big Ag has buried under 50 years of spin, stick around here. The uprising kicks off 12 inches below ground.